Hey, everyone.
Hey there.
Hi, everyone.
All gathering today. Usually it's much bigger. Crow, did you scare him off? All right.
Hello, everybody. We'll get started in just 1 minute. If you could mark your attendance in the agenda I posted in the chat. And if you have any opens, please put them under the open section. We'll get started in just 1 minute. All right, and welcome to the March 29th edition of the OpenSSF's Developer Best Practices Working Group. I will post one last time a link to our agenda. If you can mark your attendance, if you have any updates, or if you have any opens. We will start the meeting off as is tradition. First off, do I have anyone that's interested in being our scribe for the day? That would be super helpful. All right.
Well, I will try to type in some things. I'm not sure that makes me scribe. I think everybody should be scribe.
I agree. But it helps if one person is taking more accurate notes than the rest of us.
Well, you'll be disappointed if I'm it, but I make some attempts.
Aw, you've never failed to disappoint.
Think about that sentence carefully.
Oh, well. So do we have any new friends to the group that wanted to introduce themselves and say hello?
Sure.
Cool.
Hi. So my name's Lori. I work for JFrog. I just joined the OpenSSF marketing group, and I saw that Sven was unavailable today, so I thought I would sit in on his behalf. And it's nice to be here. And hello to everyone.
Hello and welcome. All right, any other new friends that wanted to say hello? All right.
Hi.
Please go ahead, Olivia.
Hi, my name's Olivia. I attended the Vulnerability Disclosures group last week. And today I'm attending the Best Practices Working Group. I'm trying to choose one to do an independent study with over the summer and contribute back to the OpenSSF.
Oh, very nice. Well, I'll let you know that this is my favorite working group out of all of them. Let us start with our project updates. I see Glenn is going to give us an update in a little bit about SKF. So David, any updates you want to share about best practices badges or the fundamentals course?
No big changes on the badge. However, on the course, so some various updates. We've had a number of minor improvements recently. Probably the big one is an expansion on integer overflow, underflow. Oh, hey, thank you for something else while I'm trying to talk. So the big event that's about to happen is we're going to have a soft launch of the course on a second platform. Oops, soft launch. So that's going to be happening, I think, this week. So the point of this one is so that it doesn't we can have certification completion without charging for it. This does not eliminate edX. Is the same course materials will be on two platforms is the plan. I didn't come up with this plan. I didn't come up with this original plan. I decided to have some other personal problems, challenges while I was. Well, but I love this idea because that's one of the big concerns for some folks is, hey, these certifications of completions cost a lot. So, but a lot of people use edX, so having on both, it seems like the easy answer there.
I had one question, David. What happens when you update the materials? How easy will that process be to get it out to 2 endpoints now?
Well, we actually already have to edit it twice. So I think a lot of you are familiar with the software development rule of thumb called DRY. Don't repeat yourself. Well, I would the course process is frankly really wet. Um, the, I already actually have to edit it twice because we want to have it on Markdown, but the course folks find it much easier to have it on Google Docs. So I actually edit it twice, and then they re-edit it twice on each of those platforms. If that sounds rather inefficient, I would agree with you. But this is the way LF Training basically says that they've had a lot of problems trying to do it other ways, because the way the various platforms work. So it's inefficient. How's this? It's not as efficient as I would normally want to do things, but it seems to be efficient in terms of actually producing good results. So.
All right. Well, that's an interesting update. Good luck. Let us know
I
if we
have
can
good
help.
news. I don't have to do that part. So the LF Training folks basically update the materials once we update it on our end.
Very nice.
Yeah, it's not really just what we're going to do. It's but LF Training recommends it because they've had problems with other alternatives.
Sure. All right. Did Laurent or Azim show up? Do you want to type anything for scorecard? All right. Well, then I will yield the floor to our Dutch friend Glenn and let him show us some pretty exciting material. I got a sneak peek last week, and I think you'll be very excited and pleased to see the changes that'll be launched very soon in SKF. Glenn, take it away.
Yes, thank you very much. Yeah, so just to come back on what David was saying about the soft launch on the second platform. Well, I have a surprise for you. It's actually going to be a third platform.
Oh, you're gonna put the fundamentals course on yours too?
Yes, indeed.
Cool. Okay, but using the GitHub stuff though, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
I had to take the Markdown. I actually split up the huge Markdown file into separate files. Let's have a look at the end result.
Okay.
It's not done yet. I'm planning to do also a soft release this Friday, where we're going to at least publish it on the demo.securityknowledgeframework.org website, where people then start playing and everything. The idea is to get some feedback, maybe probably some bug reports. Then we can fix them, and then we're going to push it all to the main branch. So, that one is also able to run locally with Docker Compose and all that good stuff. So let me see if I can share my screen. Share. Is that possible? Yeah, I guess.
You see it.
Okay, perfect. So the security knowledge framework, what we actually did, we were very busy building this new module. As you see, we have now a training tab, and the MVP, the idea was to have security development, web API hacking, infra ops, and I already have an OWASP deck as well. The infra ops, I'm still busy finalizing the material for that, so probably that will not be included in the Friday release, but the security development, hacking, and OWASP, it will. So what we did actually, we created from your material, but also the other materials, different levels to get in. Now, the idea is that you can start the learning path, the training. Here, actually, I want to do a small introductory because not every material and source have it. Of course, for yourself, you will have it, right? By David Wheeler, hey, what are we going to do? But I also wanted to say something here myself about this learning path. The idea is that it's basically, I don't know if this is going to work, full screen. So you can also, read it in full screen mode. And basically, we're going to step through everything. The idea I had, for now, it wasn't feasible to do it for all the material, but I also want to actually make and open and create YouTube videos for all the topics that you see in here. So that you not only have like content you need to read, but you can also watch a short video, on YouTube that explains you. Well, here, probably we'll use something from you, David, on the YouTube, like who you are, or just to show people. But actually, so that's the idea in the future. And basically, yeah, you have this very nice, like I said, also full screen capability to go over all the materials. All the links, they automatically open in a new tab. So that is awesome. And well, you can go next video, next video, next. I now still in the YAML file. So the whole course is built of a huge YAML file that correlates the questions, the markdown content, and all that good stuff. So when I disable the video tag, then, it will just skip this. I didn't do it for now, just that you are aware. Well, of course, David, you had a lot of questionnaires, right? Like this knowledge wizards. Of course, Markdown is not the easiest way, so I structured it a bit in this way, where you have a question and you have the answer. And basically, it's like a question answer. So after the answer, what we also did, we tied actually labs to the according topics. So now also with your material, if we have a lab available, it will say, hey, do you want to do the hands-on stuff? Then you can go say, well, I'm a Python programmer or Java or JavaScript. So you can press the start button. Then it will, in the background in Kubernetes, it will deploy actually a real operating system where all the source code and everything is basically then, sort of available, where you then can practice and do everything. So here it is. So this is the new lab environment. Like I said, it's really an operating system, right? It has like a Firefox terminal. It has a nice Sublime text editor where you can, load the code, do changes or modifications. So just to show you how nice it looks. So here, let's say you're going to do the authorization bypass course. Well, here you have the code, you can run it even, and then locally in this instance, you can actually, do everything, right? Also, what we have are the write-ups, of course. So when you click, you will go to the write-up that belongs to that section. And yeah, when you're done basically with the whole lab, the hands-on stuff, you can just, go and you say next, and we go into the next topic. So this is very familiar, I hope. This is the work of David. But what we also have is the hacking course. So what did we do there? We have another great OWASP project. It's the OWASP application testing guide. They cover a lot of good topics, good materials. So we use this one over here. Here, actually, we did the same thing. So here also we will have, and we created like more than 200 questionnaires, like question and answer, similar like you did, David, to challenge the student, the person who is learning, to see if they grasp, the important parts of the material. let's see. Then, yeah, the last part that is which is able to release. It's just the OWASP top 10. And again, here the idea is at the end that you can then spin up also a box to do the web application hacking. Still a lot to do. The idea is to release it this Friday. But yeah, we will see. I hope it will work out, and we should be able to be on time. Any feedback so far? I mean, do you guys like it?
Yeah. What do we think, group? I was very impressed. I see Vicky has her hand up. Go ahead, Vicky.
Yeah, no, I think this is great. I think it's going to be really useful. Where will people be able to find it once it's ready to soft launch?
So normally we have the demo.securityknowledgeframework.org website. There will be, when you then go on it, you will see this application, and then you have here well, now it's not there yet, but you will have the training. And then when you click on it, you can follow all the learning paths and yeah, try it. And like I mentioned, so the idea is gather some feedback, see if things fall over or not, improve, and then probably somewhere next week, we will also merge the branch with the main branch in the GitHub repo, because also everything you see actually, so currently I'm running it local, right? And it just uses the Docker Compose up that spins up the hacking labs, the SKF bits and parts as well. So technically everything you saw, you can also do locally on your machine just by then Docker Compose up and, well, having Docker desktop installed, of course. But you should, yeah, be able to run the project yourself as well locally.
This is swank. Thanks.
Yeah. So
David, I saw you next.
Yeah, so quick heads up, Glenn. I do intend by middle of April to make some more changes to the fundamentals course. Probably the big thing that I'd like to do, it's one of those, it's not necessary, but it'd be a good idea. Currently, the fundamentals course links to the 2019 version of the OWASP web application top 10 and the CWE top 25, which is really 40. I'm hoping to update that to the 2021 lists. For the most part, it's the same stuff, but there are some tweaks, and of course, throughout the course, it links to, hey, this, it mentions, hey, this is where you can find this, so we'll need to update those and some tables and such. So, I haven't actually done that yet, but that's on the list of things I'd like to do by mid-April. So,
yeah.
but everything will be, any changes will just be in Git, and you can pull them and figure out what to do with them.
Yes.
A second point is that the quizzes in the fundamentals course actually use the edX format, because there's no format for quizzes in Markdown. So
Yes.
they're all the same format, and it's documented at the end. It's a weird thing, but it's used consistently if you want to try to do an automated translation of it, right?
Yeah. So what we actually did, we just styled it almost the same. We use this split in the front to say like, oh, this is the first page,
Right.
and this is the second page. And
right.
This
The
is
question
how
is, did you automate that, or are you hand doing that?
Guess what?
I bet I know the answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Yes. No. I wanted to automate, but I am a bit in the time pressure because we really wanted to release this. So I said, okay, future roadmap, automate this stuff. For now, I will do it manually. So yes.
Okay.
All right, next up, I would like to have Marta ask her question, and after her, Lori.
I'm also on the formats because I like very much what Glenn's showing, and I like the fact that the training can be available in multiple formats. But I would just like to have a way that we could do changes and updates in one place and then integrate to all of the versions and not having everyone update all of the versions manually.
There is one place. It's called GitHub. That's the edit. Now, if you say, hey, wouldn't it be great to do the automated? I've already lost that fight on both edX and the LF training. They basically say they've tried it. The only thing that has led to is failure. I can't speak to Glenn's situation. But they've had they have had only problems trying to do it in an automated fashion. But
So
there is only one master version. It's the one on GitHub. Everything else goes from there.
yes, and what I actually did, David, I had to split it up, of course. Otherwise, for me, it was very hard to correlate it to anything. So the landing has two markdowns, the requirements, I split them all up. It made it also, well, very easy for me to incorporate and also for reviewing. Yeah, by splitting, I didn't push this because, you know, I'm not sure if you would like it or not, or if I copied or cut the files in the right chapters in the right way. I think I did, but I'm not sure. But having it separate, that already, well, is very easy to review. And the same actually I also did for the security testing. So here you have the, well, the landing, that's not that interesting. The testing framework, then you have the web application testing, and there also it's all separate files per, yeah, that, yeah. Maybe something for the future, maybe to split it up, David, I can help you with that.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure that that's this splitting it up helps actually. I do find that having one file, I mean, back a long time ago when I had a computer that had 48K of RAM, splitting up files was really important. But nowadays, when I'm moving text around from sections to sections, my computer can handle 1,000-page documents. So having it all in one file turns out to be a lot more convenient for editing. Grab, push, move stuff around. So I'm not sure that splitting text up into multiple files is, oh, I'm much older. My first computer was a PDP-8 with 4K core RAM memory, 12-bit computer. I don't miss that. All right. So in any case, yeah. So I mean, I think there are advantages for code, but you'll have to. I'm not saying it can't be done. Obviously, it can be, but you're gonna have to convince me that's worth it because there's a big advantage for reorgs for just dragging stuff around. So convince me. I'm not saying I can't be convinced, but there is malice aforethought. The reason it's in one file is because that was a decision made.
Okay, we will have that discussion offline then. That's fine.
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely. I mean, it's not a moral standing. It's just it was done in one file because it was considered convenient at the time.
Same like I did everything manually now. Yes.
Next up was Lori.
Hey, so I don't mean to be like a total noob or anything, but I was just wondering what exactly is the name of the course? Because I was on the Linux Foundation site, and I think this is something like I kind of look at everything through a marketing lens. So I'd like to market this to my company, right? To say, hey guys, like, you know, for newbies training. But so it's called Secure Software Development Fundamentals. Okay. And it's not on the Linux Foundation training site yet, right?
Yet. Right.
Okay.
Right now, there is one thing, Secure Software Development Fundamentals. Now, my understanding is that the LF training one is going to have a slightly different name, and it's going to have be a single course instead of 3, but it's the same material.
Cool.
So once I find out what their name is, we will post that and put it all in the, but I don't know that, I think I have that information somewhere, but I don't have it in front of me.
Cool. I was just, I think I was just on the wrong site. So I was on the Linux Foundation and I was looking at all of their trainings and then,
Right, it's not there yet.
perfect. Okay. So this is just me not knowing. So thank you.
Right, yeah, right. Because you're here, you're in the know.
Woohoo! I appreciate it.
Yep.
So
So
that class is going to be called Developing Secure Software on the LF site.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jory. Any additional feedback or questions for Glenn?
I do have one. And again, I look at everything, sorry, through like a marketing lens. Is there for, member organizations, are you going to want us like to push this out to our customers? Like, how do you want to get eyes on the prize, I guess is my question. So that we can make sure that we're doing what we need to do to help support.
I think for the new for the LF training, we will want that, but not yet. It's a soft launch. We want to get it up and running and just kind of see and make sure everything is smooth. We're not expecting any problems, that we know what the course is and the training platforms used by lots of others, but problems happen. So I think great concept. Definitely want it. Let's wait a little bit till we're sure everything is good before we start yelling it out to the world.
Perfect. Thank you.
That's actually a little something that Glenn and I had talked about last week around the launch of the updated SKF, is how do we want to evangelize the work of the working group? How do we want to advertise that and get the information out? Like, hey, we have a new version. We're looking for feedback or contributions. So in general, how do we want to handle that? Jory, do you have a solution for us?
Oh, sorry. I was raising my hand because I was going to take a stab at Lori's question.
Please.
And I realized David and I have maybe some conflicting intel because Lori, what I learned was that the LF is planning to do a blog post about the updated course, which will go out tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern. And they've asked us to share that on our social media. But I do take David's point that, like, hey, it can be when you've launched something, maybe waiting a beat to make sure there are no problems is a good idea from like a soft launch perspective. So that's just something for us to like circle back on. My plan had been to help the launch by making sure we got this up on our blog, got this out on our social, et cetera, tomorrow. So we'll just circle back up internally and clarify what they want to do tomorrow. So that's why I was raising my hand. But Crow, restate your question and let me see if I can help you with that one.
So the working group has some amazing work we'd like to share with the world. What do we want to How do we want to approach that going forward? Should we have a standard comms plan and a strategy, or do we need to roll that up through the TAC? Kind of how do we want to handle these types of things as we have a pretty big milestone that Glenn is rolling out? Things like that.
Yeah, so this is a great question. So for stuff that's, I think the question kind of comes back to you all, which is like, how big is the thing that you're trying to blast about, right? For small things, like say an incremental update or a reminder that a meeting is coming up, or come see us at Black Hat or something like that. I very much would love for you all to feel comfortable reaching out to myself and Kahil and Jen or David, or either send us an email or Slack us or whatever. Just say, hey, can you tweet this for us? Can you do you mind doing that? Or can we have an announcements list? I can hit everybody on the OpenSSF mailing list for you. That is something we can do really agilely. you know, same day, same hour, if I see it on Slack in time, that kind of thing. So don't hesitate to just make those asks as they pop up. I would say for the stuff that, you know, is more meaty, like, you know, the bigger projects, the launches and stuff, we really do want to work on those things in a more planful way with you. And so, you know, we've got a marketing committee. We've got soon to have a marketing lead who will be sitting with myself and David and Brian. And we can start bringing those people into calls, you know, to help plan launches and things like that. VM's got their hand up, so let me stop rambling and
let me unmute. There you go. Yeah, I wanted to recommend that that the working group try and make sure that we have some sort of representative at the new marketing. Is it a committee? Is it a team? I don't know. The marketing thing, the marketing group. So they can not only hear you know, what everyone else is doing, but also hear about opportunities to share their stories of the things that they are doing, and to bring those stories, you know, be that conduit between the working group and the marketing team to get that support necessary to get that out there. And I think that would be very, very helpful just for all the working groups to do, but especially this one, because there's so much really interesting stuff coming out of here that I think could use some more eyes on it.
What triggered this in my mind was that the Linux Foundation is hosting their security summit this summer that I have to go grade some papers for. But that really wasn't shared with the working. I stumbled across it because my corporate marketing team said, "Hey, what's this?" And there really wasn't a push to try to get more content from the working groups to be represented at an LF sponsored event. And I think there's a whole calendar of places that we could share this. You know, the work that this group and the other groups do is important. I think getting tools like SKF and David's training and, you know, the scorecards and inventory, getting all these projects out there and represented to developers and downstream consumers is important. And I think we should be more purposeful in how we plan for that. Instead of Crow randomly stumbles across it and submits something.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things that we want to work on is better internal comms inside, you know, the OpenSSF umbrella, surfacing, hey, here's the stuff that the working groups are doing, to the marketing team, to the folks who, you know, can do something with that to help, you know, blast the air horn out, and then also blast the air horn out to each other, right? Like, because oftentimes it's the case that one working group doesn't necessarily know what other working groups are doing. And so that internal marketing effort or internal comms effort, we've got a lot of room for improvement there.
All right, any additional feedback on the marketing bit? Or do we want to move on? All right. While we have Glenn here, we had talked about our next project being kind of the newbie's view to open source, secure open source development. And Glenn had shared with us a while back a graphic that we were hoping to maybe use as the basis for a conversation going forward, to start to think about how to divide up how we wanted to talk about the different aspects of secure development and associated tools and processes. So Glenn, could you possibly bring up that graphic that you had shared with us, just so the group can see it? It's been a long time since we've had a peek at that.
I really need to dig it up. I have no idea if it's still on my computer. Okay. I did commit it to the repo of ours. So let me
Have a
see.
link maybe we can pull up and look at?
Yeah, I think it was in the working group GitHub.
Okay.
Well, if it's too hard to find, we can circle back next meeting.
Yeah, and what I'd like to do is I'd like to take a look at the broad categories first. Do we agree these are the stages or areas we want to talk about? And then potentially we could start to see what materials exist, like SKF or David's, multiple tools, and then see where we want to potentially create or track down additional materials. So could I ask for some homework, Glenn, in the middle of your busy release, maybe just to track down a link, and I can I'll stage it in the next meeting notes, the different categories where we were thinking about talking about secure development and the affiliated processes and tools.
Yeah, it is indeed actually this one, the Infinity.
Yes.
So indeed, let me see.
What's your source of material for this best practice? This is the first time I've seen this best practices for open system developers. How new is this, Glenn?
Which what? Sorry.
Best practices for open source developers.
This one.
That's our group GitHub.
Oh, never mind. Okay, this is just the working. All right, I recognize.
That's the working group repo.
Yeah, I recognize the circles. Okay, I'm trying to figure. I thought we were saying
The Infinity 2 folder.
Yeah, so here, there we go.
Oh yes, that one.
Yes.
Awesome. So what I would like the group to do is if we could take a look at that and think about that for our next call. That way we can make some more progress on this project to see, do we agree with the phases, the wording, the associated practices, resources, tools.
Can you post the link?
Yeah. Keep jumping into full screen.
Now, this may seem like a minor point, but I think it's an important one. It's subtle though. I'm actually opposed to phases in general if we're trying to convince people to do it. Process, yes. Phases, no, because I don't actually believe that they're real. It's nonsense that people keep imposing from on high and discover don't work again and again.
Correct, but we need to have some way to refer to it, and I think that'll be part of our debate. Is right. What do we want to call these things? How do we want to refer to it and organize ourselves? But I'm looking at the buckets of work we'd like to focus on and get more detail around. And Glenn put the link in the
I see it
chat.
But that's not the link to the picture. Where's the link to the picture?
It is actually a whole HTML JavaScript thingy.
Okay, so where's the link?
Well, I just launched it locally just by
yeah, okay, that's not how I can't review something I can't see.
Yeah, so if you go to that GitHub repo and you download that folder, Infinity, then you can just...
you got to post the instructions then.
It's download, double click on the HTML, and you see this.
The HTML. There are many HTMLs. Okay, Infinity 2 index.
Yes.
Oh wait. All right. So the problem here is.
So we have here in our working group the folder Infinity 2. Here are all the JavaScript, the icons, and the styling, and the index. When you download this whole folder, the Infinity, you double click on the index, it will open in your browser, and this is the whole thing. So it's not only an image, it's really interactive. So if you want changes or anything or enrich stuff, it's very easy to do, actually.
Okay. We'll get instructions written up and sent out to the mailing list this week. And I would ask everyone to take a look at the diagram, think through it, think how we want to refer to things that used to be called phases or stages.
Well, process is the usual term. And I think one of the challenge, if the ISO and ANSI standard terms are processes, I think, but the challenge here, most of these aren't processes. They're
Correct. We may need
things.
to reorganize it, possibly.
Yeah.
So if everyone could think through that, we'll get the instructions sent out to everybody, and that will be, aside from updates, what our next topic of conversation will be, unless we have some other presentation like Glenn did today. Any any other opens we want to discuss today?
If I can have like 1 more minute, if you don't
Sure.
mind. Because, you know, on our website that we use as a landing spot, we have like, you know, the corporate supporters, the organizations, OWASP and OpenSSF. I also mentioned here which other projects we're actually using. And David, I also wanted to add a block for your course here, but I was a bit confused on to link it to the OpenSSF or the Linux Foundation, or how or what should I, if I want to add a block here for your security fundamental course, what should I add then, and to what should I link? Is it then to the OpenSSF website or?
The OpenSSF website. Here, let me post link in chat.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. OpenSSF training courses.
Okay, perfect.
Link to there, and the idea here is that from there, explanation will ensue.
All right, then I will add a block for you there too with a link. Thanks, that was it.
Questions, comments, or opens? All right, I want to thank everybody for your time and attention today. We'll get the instructions to view the Infinity loop so we can have a good conversation next time around our next project. Thank you all, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank you.